Hey guys, so in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the Flash 8:15 promo. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button down below, subscribe for new, notifications on, and let's watch this promo, and we will continue with the video.
It's Iris. She's lost in time. How are you gonna get inside the still force?
Something don't feel right about this.
This is how we get Iris back.
Where we're going? Time just repeats itself indefinitely.
Dad!
This thing's about to get real weird.
So what you just saw there was the 8:15 promo. As I said, I'm going to be breaking it down. So it pretty much opened up with Barry telling Chester, and I'm assuming it's Team Flash, that Iris is in the still force and that she's gone now due to time sickness. And we kind of go to Chester saying he knows how to get her out in a way, and we get Dion involved. We knew that XS is coming back this episode as well. And Joe said that something doesn't feel right with everything that's going on related to this. And then we go to Dion saying where he and Bear are going, where Dion and Bear are going, time just repeats itself infinitely. And it's dangerous as hell to be there. And then we see Nora saying Dad, and then it cuts again to another scene with Nora like a moment later saying Dad again. And then later in the promo, you hear her saying Dad, 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 and it keeps echoing in and out. That's a different timeline setting in. And by that I mean, this is how many times Bear is going through it. He's going through it all these times. Whenever you hear Nora say Dad, 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 that's repeating itself for a reason. And as Dion said, time just repeats itself infinitely in there. That's what that is. So we know that Cecile's going to play somewhat of a big role this episode. I'm pretty sure it was that her H16 will be. But one of these three interludes will be Cecile episode mainly. I'm pretty sure. But 8:15 is the start of an interlude, part 3. We have 8:15, 16, and 17. 8:15, I think, is going to be the best one out of these three, no matter what they are. Whether the next two are good or not, I think 8:15 is really going to be a good episode. Just from the promo alone, it looked pretty damn good. And we also saw in the promo Barry holding a brush in Joe's house. Now, that's important to remember because Iris, at the end of Armageddon, I think it was, I'm pretty sure it was at the end of Armageddon in 805, it was 806, I think it was. Barry and Team Flash are going on a vacation, and Iris put a brush on the couch, and when Barry took them all, and no one's in the house, the brush disappeared. It went to the still force due to time sickness, and so Barry finds that brush now. So it's going to be a good episode tying in a lot of past things that Iris has been through related to time sickness, and just seeing where all that goes, which I think will be very good. Now, the episode will be focused on the Still Force, as it wouldn't be called Into the Still Force, which we haven't gotten a lot of. I think we've only been... Have you ever been in the Still Force? Maybe in season 7 we were, I think. Maybe for like an episode. But nothing like this. Like, this is going to be a whole nother level. Also in the promo, we saw a newspaper, which we also saw on set a couple months back. But we're seeing it full on now. I'm surprised they even showed it in the promo. I saw it, I was like, holy crap, they're really showing this. A newspaper article from May 4th, 2024. Now, I'll talk about why it's important in a minute, but it does say Zoom and Godspeed destroy Central City. And then above it says meteor showers visible for the next 4 nights over Central City. I mean, you know, it's interesting to know if Barry's alive right now, which you would think he would be, but the thing is, it's by Central City Picture News, which is the news source that reported the original Flash feature article saying that Barry vanished. So you could connect these two in a way, I guess. And if this is how they're saying Barry's alive in the future, great. But at the same time, you have to ask the question, how could Zoom and Godspeed destroy the city without Barry trying to do something? Because we all know Barry. He would die trying to save this city. So if Zoom and Godspeed destroyed it, or, caused a lot of chaos in it, you would have to ask the question, is Barry really there? And that's something that I think we're going to dive into in 715? This is not season 7. Far better than season 7. 815, I think we're going to be diving into that. Now, we can't see the byline, so we can't really say if this is written by Iris West Allen or not. But if the show continues into season 10, we'd be looking at 2024. And I think this is teasing a future revival of Zoom and Godspeed. Now, how the hell they're bringing Zoom back in the future is beyond me, because he's dead. He became the Black Flash. And they haven't brought that up since season 3. Or a couple times on Legends. But nonetheless, Zoom's dead. So unless Earth Prime changed that, and Zoom's just hiding, you would have to ask the question again. Why? For all this time, if Zoom is alive, why wouldn't they mention it? We've had Barry and Joe mention Zoom, but they never mention what's happened to him. So we're just all assuming, okay, he, is what happened in the original timeline. He got taken over by the Time Wraith, became Black Flash. But they're full-on saying that Zoom and Godspeed destroyed Central City. It's not a completely different person. This is Zoom. And so it's interesting to see that. Now, again, another interesting thing to point out just in this newspaper alone is the fact that the original timeline, Barry vanished in 2024. So this news article that is kind of, replacing that. With Barry not vanishing, now the city's going to be destroyed by two speedsters that he's been fighting for years. I'm assuming that's the point they're getting at. Again, we're going to dive into it in 715. But I am very excited for this episode. I think it's going to be very well done, if that makes any sense. I think they can do it right. And now, something to point out. 8, 15, 16, 17, and 18, we will not see any Iris. Which is something that I'm conflicted on. Because 8:15 is all about saving Iris. And Barry's going to the Still Force to save her. So, are they just not going to be able to? That's something we have to... It's what? We have an entire episode focused on Barry in the Still Force trying to save Iris, and we're not even going to see her at all for the next 4 episodes until 8:19. She'll be coming back. It's a little bit concerning. I'm sure they'll do a good job on it, but it's you couldn't put this episode in 8:19. I guess that's another graphic novel we're dealing with, and God knows how long that will be, but... episode before the finale. Iris won't be here till an episode before the finale. And at least we know this time. It's not some random crap like season 7 was. But, again, how are they gonna explain that? Because Barry's going to this horrible place in the Still Force to get Iris... And she's not even going to be there. So it's the entire episode we pretty much just know is going to be useless at the end. Or it's not going to go the way Barry wants. And it's just Barry's not going to stop trying to get a way out. And then something rears its head in Barry's way and he has to go deal with it. Which I'm assuming what the next graphic novel will be. But it's going to be very interesting to see where all this goes. Because I'm not super skeptical as I am for 8:16, which is when Barry ages. I've already gone a full rant about that, so I'm not going to do it again. But, I'm not going to give my opinions to the episode airs, but my full opinions to the episode airs, but it's... I have a good feeling about 8:15. Even minus that Iris stuff, with her not being there, I think it could really work out, because I think there were some that we wouldn't know that, but we do, thanks to Candace. So... I think it's gonna be something. That's for sure. It's gonna be something. I don't know if it'll be a good something or bad something, but I am overly excited to see Nora, XS, and Dion back, because I love Dion and I love XS. Those two are like my top 10 favorite characters on the show. Next to Perry, Iris, Caitlin, Cisco, Joe, Kramer. Now I didn't like Kramer before. Jay, Bart, and then we have XS and Dion. Was that 11? It was probably 11. I can't count for the life of me. If it was 10, then great. If it was 11, sorry. I didn't count. Nonetheless, I think 8:15 is going to be a good episode. And I know I said that a lot in this one video alone, but I had a good feeling about 8:14 and about 8:13, and I turned out to be right about it. So I'm following my gut here, and I'm going to call it now that 8:15 will be one of the best episodes of this season. And it can truly turn out that way if 8:15 turns out well, even without Iris being in it, which I think, again, would be troubling. Because Iris is supposed to be about saving Iris, so with her not being there, I think we're all kind of questioning where that was just going to go. But if it's leaning to something where she gets deeper into the Still Force where Barry can't go, because he could just get lost forever and ever and ever and ever, then I'm okay with that. As long as we somehow, some way, manage to get Iris out of the Still Force and back to what we're doing without some major plot holes happening in 8:19 or, the last 4 related to that, like 8:15. I mean, it would be good to know that. So I guess we'll just have to wait for the next 4 episodes to see how that all connects. But yeah. Thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you're excited for 8:15 in the comments down below. Stay safe. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.